President Zelensky has visited the eastern Ukrainian city of Bakhmut, the scene of intense fighting with Russian forces. We have just had these images coming into our newsroom in the past few minutes or so. They have been released by the Ukrainian presidential press service, his office saying that he met with troops and handed out awards. Now, this is a visit that happened as the country marks 300 days since Russia's invasion. We've also been hearing from Vladimir Putin, who says the situation in annexed regions is extremely difficult and has ordered his security service to strengthen borders and tighten social control within Russia, telling them to quickly identify traitors and saboteurs. Vitaly Shevchenko, Russia editor at BBC Monitoring, is with me now. Vitaly, it's already a pretty repressive state in Russia. There's Vladimir Putin ordering it to be even tighter, I guess. But did you see what he said today as also being an admission that things aren't going well?
Indeed, what he said is not very customary for somebody like Vladimir Putin. If you look at Russian media and what Russian officials say, it's almost exclusively good news. But today, Russia is marking what must be one of President Putin's favorite state holidays, the State Security Officers' Day. And addressing state security officers, he said that the situation in the 4 Ukrainian regions which Russia tried to annex in September, he said it was extremely difficult, and he said that security services in Russia have to work harder to expose spies, saboteurs and traitors.
The Kremlin's war aims haven't changed and don't seem to be going anywhere. Things are very entrenched right now. What was made of yesterday's visit to Belarus by President Putin?
Well, to be honest, a lot of people are asking that question and few people know because, well, Belarus, for all intents and purposes, it is pretty heavily involved in Russia's special military operation in Ukraine because from Belarus, Russian forces, they fired missiles at Russia, they sent troops, they fired missiles at Ukraine, they sent troops to Ukraine, hardware. So one thing that President Putin might possibly want to get from Belarus is the actual involvement of Belarusian troops in Ukraine. And also it's very important that this was President Putin's first visit to Belarus since the summer of 2019, even though he's been meeting the Belarusian leader Lukashenko very frequently, almost every other month for the past 2 years. All these meetings, they took place in Russia.
In Ukraine, we've seen President Zelensky handing out medals, talking to troops, some carefully choreographed scenes and pictures that were released today. 300 days since the war started, Vitaly. What is the feeling in Ukraine at the moment about what is to come, what the next few months with winter here, what could be on the horizon?
I think by this stage, it's clear what Russia's strategy is likely to be over the winter months. Russia's tried capturing parts of Ukraine by doing fighting on the ground, but right now the only place where this is still going on, there's fierce fighting, it's Bakhmut, which President Zelensky visited. But Russia's strategy, it's more focused at firing missiles from thousands of miles away at Ukrainian infrastructure across all of Ukraine to take electricity out, to make sure people across Ukraine have no heating in their homes, no running water. And that seems to be the result of Russia's failures on the actual battleground. They've switched to missile attacks, and this is what most people think is something that we're likely to see over the next few months as well.
But it's existential for Ukrainians and they remain resolute. Vitaly, thank you. Yeah, good to see you.